Stop right there. Before you lace up those walking shoes, before you reach for the mail, before you pick up that remote control you just dropped, I want you to pause. Because this moment, the moment you begin to bend at the waist, is one of the most dangerous moments in your entire day. It is the moment the floor suddenly seems too far away. We are talking about the 5 seconds of absolute vulnerability. The rush of blood, the sudden darkness at the edge of your vision, the frantic need to grab the nearest solid surface just to stay upright. This is not a sign of weakness. This is a common, predictable challenge for people over 60. And today, we are giving you an immediate, simple, 5-second fix that turns this danger into a non-issue. A preventative technique you can activate right now before your next fall ever happens. This isn't about expensive equipment. It is not about complicated balance drills. It is about a tiny neurological trick that stabilizes your blood flow and primes your safety system, all in the time it takes to draw a single deep breath. We call it the 5-second pre-bend activation. But before we teach you the exact trick, we must understand the precise danger we are neutralizing. Why does bending over suddenly become a high-risk maneuver? As we age, our internal plumbing, our circulatory system, is slower to respond to major posture shifts. When you transition quickly from standing upright to having your head suddenly below your heart, your body's blood pressure regulators don't catch up fast enough. Think of it like an old garden hose. If you kink it or move the nozzle too fast, the water flow becomes erratic. When you bend, gravity pulls the blood down towards your legs and abdomen. If your heart and arteries don't immediately compensate by squeezing tighter, your brain experiences a brief critical moment of starvation. We call this orthostatic hypotension. That starvation causes the dizziness, the disorientation, and the frightening loss of control. It happens in mere seconds, and those mere seconds are precisely why so many preventable falls happen right in the middle of a mundane routine. Consider your morning. You have your walking clothes on. You sit down to put on your socks. Simple enough. But then you drop a sock. You lean over quickly to retrieve it, and in that moment, the world spins. You grasp, you miss the bedside table, and down you go. Or consider the kitchen. You reach to unload the lower rack of the dishwasher. Repeated bending and straightening. Each time you straighten up, your blood pressure plunges, then surges, leaving you momentarily unstable and swaying just enough to catch the edge of the counter wrong. We underestimate these routine movements because we performed them effortlessly for decades. But now they require respect. They demand preparation. The key to preventing the fall is preparation that is integrated into the action itself. You do not want to rely on the difficult, often impossible task of standing up slowly. Often, slowing down is not enough. You need to physically adjust your body's internal sensors before the bend ever begins. If you have ever felt that sickening lurch, you know the panic that follows. That panic is not helping. It elevates your heart rate in an inefficient way, making the blood pressure instability worse. We need a systematic way to tell your body, blood flow stabilized, posture shift commencing in 5 seconds. Many people mistakenly believe the solution is always to sit down or to simply squat. While squatting is better than bending, it puts tremendous, often painful strain on the knees and hips, which may already be compromised. The 5-second pre-bend activation is different. It is an upper body and core engagement technique designed to preemptively stabilize your trunk and signal your brain and inner ear, your primary balance organs, that a controlled movement is about to occur. It uses a targeted, silent internal count that triggers 3 critical physiological responses: core bracing, vestibular priming, and controlled exhalation. When you master this, the difference will be immediate. You will bend down to tie those shoes, and instead of lightheadedness, you will feel stability. Instead of rushing to stand up, you will feel calm control. In the next section, we are going to break down the first step of this powerful technique, the exact physical position you must adopt, and the crucial first 2 seconds of the 5-second countdown. Get ready to protect your balance and reclaim your full confidence in your daily movements. This is the difference between a successful walk and an unnecessary trip to the emergency room. We are starting with the foundation. the precise foot placement you need to create your internal grounding force. We've established that the moment you bend down to grab your slippers or tie that lace, a subtle but significant drop happens in your circulatory system. This is not just a sign of getting older, it is physics. Your body's plumbing system is fighting a constant battle with gravity. When you shift your head and torso below your waistline, even briefly, your heart has to work suddenly and intensely to push blood upwards to your brain. For those of us 60 and over, the automatic signals that manage this pressure adjustment sometimes lag. They are slower to respond to the sudden change in altitude. This lag, this momentary delay in adjustment, is precisely what causes that dizzying rush, that terrifying spin, or the sudden lurch that puts you off balance and risks a fall. It is medically known as orthostatic hypotension. It sounds complicated, but the solution we are implementing is not. The entire 5-second trick is about teaching your body how to preemptively adjust the pressure before the critical movement happens. We are fighting those few crucial seconds where the blood pressure suddenly dips when your head changes its height dramatically. Think of your spine and neck as the main control center for this entire process. Most people, when they go to tie a shoe or pick something up, unknowingly make two critical, harmful mistakes. Mistake number 1, the sudden, quick forward lunge. You throw your chest towards your knees quickly, often relying on momentum to get you down and back up. This accelerates the gravity effect and destabilizes your core instantly. Mistake number 2, holding your breath as you bend. Many of us instinctively tense up and stop breathing during effort or concentration. This severely restricts the smooth, steady blood flow stabilization your body needs right then. We must break these two habits immediately. Your new protective routine starts 5 seconds before you even touch your laces. This first phase of our protective trick is called the anchor breath. It is the foundation of the 5-second protection window. It requires absolute stillness before the action begins. First, choose your anchor point. Are you sitting on a sturdy chair with arms? Are you resting on the edge of a strong bed? Ensure your feet are planted flat on the floor, rooted and hip-width apart. This establishes the physical anchor. Second, and most crucial, the intentional inhale. You must stabilize your internal pressure system first. Take a deep, slow, intentional breath, pulling air deep into your lungs and stomach. Count slowly to 3 as you inhale. 1, 2, 3. Feel the air fill your abdomen. Then, hold that breath gently for 1 single second. Do not strain. Now, exhale completely, slowly counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push all the stale air completely out of your lungs. You must feel the distinct sense of calm and rootedness that this single complete breath cycle gives you. This is your 5-second preparation. It forces your heart rate to slow slightly and signals your nervous system to prepare for the upcoming change in posture. It stabilizes your internal plumbing. Crucially, during this anchor breath, your gaze must remain fixed on a steady point directly ahead of you. Do not look down at the shoe yet. Head up, eyes level, anchor yourself visually and physically. This intentional breathing routine properly oxygenates your blood and lowers the immediate blood pressure spike risk when you move. You must perform this anchor breath even if you are just leaning slightly to pick up a dropped remote or newspaper from the floor. Treat every low movement as a critical, controlled maneuver. Remember, we are not rushing anymore. Speed is the enemy of stability when you are over 60. Now that we have rooted ourselves with the anchor breath and successfully prepared the nervous system, we are ready for the second phase of the trick, the controlled descent. The way you execute the bend itself is entirely different from how you were taught decades ago. It involves a very specific, slow-motion sequence of movements. This sequence protects the crucial nerves in your neck and keeps your center of gravity fixed firmly over your base. In the next part, we will walk through that exact slow-motion descent, focusing on exactly where your eyes, your neck, and your hands must be positioned during the critical phase of reaching down. We will show you the exact sequence of the 3 required body movements that turn a risky bend into a safe, effortless motion. Stay with us. Your complete protection is only seconds away. We are changing how you move, ensuring every shoe tied is a victory, not a risk. We have covered the foundational concept of the 5-second trick. We understand why gravity is the culprit, stealing blood flow from your brain when you bend. We know the general solution, proactive muscle engagement before the shift in posture. Now, we must perfect the execution. Precision is safety when dealing with balance. This is not a violent action. It is a controlled, focused internal movement. We call it the 5-second preparation. But let's break down those 5 crucial moments. Think about the situation. You are standing upright, maybe holding a sock or a package you dropped. You are about to initiate the bend. The crucial 5 seconds, step-by-step refinement. Seconds 1 and 2. The deep breath. This is where many people rush. They take a shallow breath into their chest. That won't work. You need to breathe deeply into your lower lungs. Feel your abdomen gently expand, like inflating a small balloon just below your ribs. This slow, deliberate inhale stabilizes your internal pressure immediately. This breath is your initial anchor. Seconds 3 and 4, the core brace and leg prime. This is the central defense mechanism. As you finish that deep inhale, you must gently brace your abdomen. Think of it as putting on a snug, invisible belt. You are not holding your breath, you are tensing the supporting muscles around your stomach. Simultaneously, squeeze your thigh and gluteal muscles, your buttocks, and the muscles at the back of your leg. Squeeze them just enough to feel the tension, but not so hard that you shake. This coordinated squeeze is the muscular pump we discussed earlier. It acts like an immediate dam, preventing gravity from rushing all your necessary blood away from your head. You are forcing blood flow to stay centralized. If you skip this bracing step, the blood pressure drop is inevitable, and the dizziness returns. Second 5. The release and action. After the 4 seconds of controlled breathing and bracing, you release the breath gently, but you maintain the core and leg tension. Then, and only then, you initiate the bend forward. Your head should only dip once the muscles below are actively engaged in protecting your circulation. The entire protective sequence happens while you are still upright, before you put your body into the vulnerable position. This distinction is essential. The 5-second trick is the preparation, not the action itself. Beyond the shoelace, everyday application. Many falls happen not when tying shoes, but in the dozens of microbends we perform daily without thinking. We need to make this 5-second pause a universal trigger for bending. Think about retrieving items from the lowest shelf in the pantry. You open the door, you spot the can of soup, and you lean in. The new routine. Pause, deep breath, 1 to 2 seconds. Brace core and legs, 3-4 seconds. Release breath, maintain tension, 5 seconds. Now, retrieve the soup. Think about bending down to tend a flower pot in the garden. Instead of simply collapsing forward, you pause, prepare, and then move with grounded stability. The laundry basket is another common hazard. Reaching deep into the washing machine or bending to pick up stray clothes from the floor often involves an awkward twist combined with the head dip. This is a recipe for a tumble. You must treat the laundry basket bend with the same respect you give to climbing a steep flight of stairs. It requires preparation. The power of this technique is its simplicity and its immediate effect. You are training your body to override the automatic, dangerous response to gravity. Addressing common mistakes and pitfalls. As you integrate this habit, watch out for 2 common errors that can undermine the trick's effectiveness. Mistake number 1, holding your breath too long. We ask you to take a deep breath during the first 2 seconds and brace your core during the next 2. Some people hold that deep breath throughout the entire bend. Holding your breath creates unnecessary internal strain, known as the Valsalva maneuver, which can temporarily spike blood pressure and then cause a dangerous drop afterward. The trick is the bracing and tension, not the breath hold. You should be breathing calmly, even shallowly, while your muscles are working to maintain central pressure. Mistake number 2, Tensing the wrong muscles. If you feel the tension primarily in your shoulders, neck, or jaw, you are doing it incorrectly. This added strain can lead to headaches or neck stiffness. The protective effort must originate from the center of your body, the core, and the large muscles of your hips and thighs. Keep the shoulders relaxed and down. Focus your intention where the large blood vessels are, the trunk and the legs. These are the pumping stations we are trying to activate. If you struggle to feel the core brace, try imagining you are gently trying to stop the flow of urine midstream. That specific, gentle tension is exactly what you need in your lower abdomen. This mental image helps isolate the correct muscles without causing undue strain elsewhere. The road to automatic protection. The first few days of practicing this 5-second method will require conscious thought. You will forget, you will remember, and you will correct yourself. That is completely normal. But consistency is the secret. Weapon here. Every time you consciously pause before you bend, you are reinforcing a new neural pathway. Soon, your brain will recognize the impending movement, the dip of the head, and automatically trigger the bracing mechanism. It will become your body's ingrained safety protocol. The time commitment is trivial, 5 seconds, but the payoff is priceless, avoiding that sudden sickening rush of dizziness that can lead to a broken hip or worse. We have mastered the mechanics of the upright bend, but our days contain other critical transitions where the fear of falling is just as intense. In the final part of our session, we will integrate this protective mindset into 2 other highly hazardous times of day: the rapid rise from a deep chair, and perhaps most critically, the first morning shift from lying flat in bed to standing upright. These transitions introduce different forces on your blood pressure, but the foundational principle of proactive muscle engagement remains your best defense. Now that you have mastered the simple 5-second preparation, we need to integrate it fully. We need to make this conscious preparation become an automatic reflex. Remember, the goal is not just to survive the bend, but to own the movement. Let's quickly review the anchor point before we expand the trick to your entire day. Before the bend, you must create those 5 seconds of stabilization, feet slightly wider than shoulder width. This is your foundation. Engage your core gently, feeling like you are bracing for a gentle hug. Deep breath in for 2 seconds, hold it for 1. Then, release as you initiate the movement. This deliberate 5-second pause forces your circulation and your inner ear balance system to synchronize. It stops the sudden drop in blood pressure that triggers the fall sequence. We focused on tying your shoes because it is the most frequent moment of vulnerability in the early morning. But bending happens dozens of times a day. It happens when you reach for the low cabinet in the kitchen. It happens when you pick up the newspaper from the porch. It happens when you are loading the bottom rack of the dishwasher. The dizziness risk is identical in all these situations. You must treat every low task as if you are about to tie your shoes. Every time, initiate the 5-second stabilization sequence. We are establishing a new, safer pattern of movement. Now, let's talk about the second critical mistake that causes late dizziness. We focused on the way down, but the real rush of dizziness often hits on the way back. Up. Many people rush the return, thinking the danger is past. It has not. When you straighten up quickly, the blood rushes back down towards your feet, often causing a second, more powerful drop in head pressure. This is why many people stand up, take 2 steps, and then feel the world swim. You need a reverse 5-second trick for the ascent. After you have finished the task, the shoe is tied. The mail is retrieved. Do not explode upwards. Use your leg muscles to push yourself up slowly, keeping your back straight. Stop halfway up. Take a brief stabilizing pause while your torso is still angled forward. Take 1 slow, deep breath here. Just 1. This brief pause, usually lasting only 3 seconds, is vital. It gives your body's baroreceptors time to adjust the blood pressure settings before you become fully vertical. Then, complete the stand. Once you are upright, look straight ahead at a fixed point for 2 full seconds before you begin to walk. This full sequence, the 5-second pre-bend, the controlled bend, and the 5-second post-bend ascent, guarantees maximum safety. It sounds like a lot of steps, but it will quickly merge into a single, seamless, safe habit. Remember, controlled movement eliminates the fear. The most powerful benefit of this trick is not just physical, but psychological. Every time you perform the 5-second preparation successfully, you are reinforcing your confidence. You are proving to yourself that you are in charge of your body and your balance. That sense of control reduces the underlying anxiety about falling, which in itself can contribute to lightheadedness and stress. You must commit to using the full sequence, down and up, for the next 7 days. Do not skip it even once. Make it mandatory. You will notice an immediate, tangible difference in that swirling sensation that used to hit when you bent down. However, we must address the exceptions. This 5-second trick is a powerful tool for prevention and stabilization. It is not a substitute for professional medical care. If you are performing the preparation and ascent perfectly, following every single step, and you still experience extreme, debilitating dizziness upon standing, it is a signal. That signal means your orthostatic hypotension might be too advanced for simple behavioral fixes, or it might be related to other health factors. If the trick does not work, it is time to have a direct conversation with your primary physician. Ask specifically about your current medications. Certain blood pressure medications and diuretics can increase the risk of these dizzy spells, especially when standing. Your dose may need adjustment. Use the 5-second trick as a daily test of your body's current stability. Consistency is the final key to achieving mastery over this fear. By integrating this sequence, you have reclaimed control over one of the most dangerous and common daily activities. You have learned how to manage your body's internal response to gravity. You have secured your body for the movement, but to achieve complete fall protection, you must also secure your environment. The safest movement in the world can be undone by a small hazard waiting on the floor. Next time, we will tackle the 3 silent killers in your home that are secretly waiting to trip you up. We will conduct a room-by-room safety audit to ensure your home is working with your newfound stability, not against it.